Hello, everyone, and welcome to 2020 Leadership Group's Rainmaking Academy office hours. Rainmaking Academy is an online and on-demand business development training and coaching program specifically designed for professionals who are ready to become powerhouse rainmakers and build their portable books of business. The Rainmaking Academy lets you learn every key rainmaking skill on your own schedule, anytime and anywhere, even if you have zero marketing, sales, or business experience. Led by business development coaches and creators of the Rainmaking Academy, Marla and Yuliya LaRoe, Rainmaking Academy office hours are created from questions posed by the Academy members and answered live during the program's monthly group coaching calls. And now, let's hear today's question.
So another question we got is, I watched the video lessons on finding your niche, but I must admit, I still struggle with the concept. I specialize in several practice areas and feel that picking one or two, as you suggest, would make it harder for me to find clients. Okay, thank you for your question, and it makes perfect sense. We totally get where you're coming from, and a lot of professionals struggle with this one. I mean, we get this one all the time. This is the infamous FOMO, as you may have heard us reference. FOMO, the fear of missing out. And, it may seem like counterintuitive that narrowing down the target market in which you serve will actually, it may seem counterintuitive that narrowing it down will actually make it a lot easier to get more clients, but it does. It's so much easier to find them, and it's so much easier for you to then build your strategy towards that once you do decide to narrow it down. So we use a fishing analogy in Module 2 about this concept, and I'll kind of go ahead and sort of elaborate on that. If you think about fishing, I don't know if any of you are fishermen or fisherwomen, but you could kind of just be broad and say, well, I'm just going to go fishing and I'm going to go for any kind of fish, any fish, right? You may, if you just go for any fish, you may catch some fish. Maybe the ones you catch, though, are too small. Or maybe the ones that you catch are really not the type of fish that you're interested in after all. Or maybe you don't catch any fish at all. But if you know that you specifically want to catch, let's say, bonefish, for example, which is popular here in South Florida, then you're going to want to focus on going to the fishing spots where those particular bonefish are specifically likely to be found. And so it's going to be inshore fishing, not offshore fishing. And you're going to want to use a particular type of boat, like a skiff, for example, so that you can go into very shallow waters where they hang out. You're going to use particular lures that are designed to attract that type of fish, and you're going to use different fishing techniques that are tailored for that type of catch. So basically, you're going to use, all of the strategies and the components that you're going to use are going to be designed around what type of fish you're going after, right? And it just makes it so much clearer and so much more targeted and focused of where you need to be. And so that's kind of the concept here that we want to help everybody wrap their minds around and sort of digest. What do you want to focus the bulk of your time and energy on? Is it anyone who could just pay for your services? That's not necessarily going to be an ideal client for you. And that's so general and so vague, you can't create a targeted strategy to find more of those types of people. So you want to, ask yourself, where do I want to focus the bulk of my time and energy? On things that can theoretically, possibly give me the results that I want, or on things that are very likely to get me the specific types of results that I want? And this is what is going to allow you to be so much more intentional and focused and targeted in all of your efforts. And this is where a lot of the overwhelm starts to go away because you get clarity. And this is a really, really tough concept for a lot of professionals to adopt. And we understand why. We really do. But once you do adopt it, then your business development really becomes so much easier. So from a mindset standpoint, This is a great question because it brings up the whole concept of kind of letting go. Letting go of the worry that you are going to limit yourself by intentionally narrowing down your efforts into a niche or a couple of niches. But really, nothing is going to prevent you from serving people outside of that niche who may be like an inbound lead from a referral source, or if they just come to you directly or another opportunity comes up. You can still serve them. But where are you going to spend your networking efforts? Where are you going to, if you decide to do speaking or blogging or writing, where are you going to be doing that? That's the whole idea. If you just stay too generalist, then nothing really special or distinguishing is called out about you. So that's kind of the concept here that we try to encourage folks to consider. Because once you have that niche or a couple of niches, then that determines how you describe what you do, who you serve, where you're networking, where you're doing all these other activities. And so, our inner game tip on this one is to just focus first on sort of letting go. You can always pivot later. You can always shift later. You're not married to a given niche for the rest of your life. And so our advice is, first go deep and then go wide.
Well, thank you for tuning in today. If you are a professional who is looking to build or grow their book of business, check out www.rainmakingacademy.com to see how we can help you do just that. Until next time.